Alright, in today's video we're going to show you how to use the label designer. You're going to start out in your system settings, go over to label designer. Now this is a GUI interface where you'll be able to set up different label types for various areas of the system. So you'll have inventory, which will be on the receive page or the assets page. You'll have lots, which will be your inbound order labels, outbound order labels for your bulk commodities, shipping labels for FedEx, UPS, bin labels, and then you have specific inbound order labels that will be found in the inbound section. In this video, we're going to start out with the inventory section, and we're going to create a small label and show you the process. So we'll start out, we'll create a 3x2. So you have some default templates you could select. That'll open, well, if that was available, it would open it. So it's just basically a blank label. Let me see if we can reopen the 3x2. Alright, so basically we have a 3x2. Now, the way this process works is if you look at the properties, you have different sections like a top margin, and you can see the way it's been set up. If you click into the size, I can change this to 50, which is 50 pixels. We'll make that a 0. So we're only going to use the details section, which you could relabel and call what you want, which should be like the main body of the label. So if we click the 3x2 label, now you have the ability to drag and drop in some text fields, and typically I'd probably put this in a zoomed mode, full screen. I'll zoom into the label so it's easier to work with. Now to make these labels, I guess, look better, a lot of times you want to go into the appearance and then possibly set up the font. So you might want to have a different font. So let's say we wanted to do Arial, and I typically like to set these up where the text alignment is centered within the cell. You can see here we have, let's just make this a 9 point, and I'd like to, we'll call this model, right? And you could size it up the way you want. If you go down while you're clicking this particular field and we go to the height, you could change this to make it a little bit more uniform. We'll make it 20. So what I'll do a Control C, Control V. We'll make a copy, and you could start continuing to add in different field names and size them up. You have a whole bunch of different functionality at the top where you can justify left and group things together very easily, which is nice. So we'll do model. We'll do I'll make this particularly for a LCD monitor, so we'll do screen size. We'll do grade, and we'll drag and drop a barcode. So if you look on the left, you'll have barcodes. So we'll drag this in. And what I'm going to do is we'll click that. And you can see on the right, under the barcode tasks, you'll have the ability to format the text. If you want to use a specific symbology, which is either 1D options, or you could potentially use a QR code, which is pretty typical. And then what you're going to want to do is probably get these things centered within the space. And let's see. Now, I'm going to click this here. I'm going to do a Control C on all three and Control V, and I'll just move it here. And I'll select them all with a control option by holding it down, expand it, Now typically I'm going to go into the database section so we can start making a mapping, and we'll go into, probably want to go into, let's see, the model. We have attributes. So we're going to do, so let's actually add in manufacturer here. You're going to drag drop the field. So in this case I selected manufacturer, which was wrong. We're going to pop it in over here. I'm going to take the model, go here, which is good. Screen size. So if you look under your LCD monitor, you're going to have your screen size here, so we can map that. And then you could do a search for grade, which will be more of a common field. So I'd probably take this option here, drag and drop grade, and then for, I'd probably list a serial number too. So we could do a search for serial. And we're gonna save this so we don't lose our work. We'll do a save as. We'll do this as LCD monitor 3x2, and we'll hit save. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into kind of an audit, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the monitor, and we're gonna hit print download new, and we're gonna look up the LCD one, select it, and then we're going to hit preview. So you can see here, essentially we have this option, and maybe we're going to want to tighten up spacing. So I like to keep things where you're able to switch between the LCD monitor printing dialog here and hit preview very quickly. So what I'll do is we'll go over here. I'd probably just tighten these all up by going down to the bottom once I select them, and I adjust the size to maybe like 17. So I could see it's getting much tighter. And then you could just start moving them up and get them organized. Once it turns red, that just means that the fields are overlapping. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if the formatting doesn't look correct on the preview, then you're obviously going to want to change it. So let's do a test here. We'll have to do a save. And then we can reload over here and just hit preview. And you could see the sizing is adjusting. And then we'll go back over here and let's set up a grade on this unit. So you can see how things are, adjusting appropriately. And, a lot of times you might want to, adjust this a little bit more, where I feel like we have way too much space here. So we can shrink this down, grab them like this, and then maybe take this attribute here, and let's make this the sizing. Let's make this a 30 point. And we'll just do everything centered and bring it down like this, and then maybe even bold it, and we'll do a save. Now I'll jump back and take a look at what the results are. So you can see it's looking better. And if you wanted to get rid of that QR, obviously you could go back, click this, change this to a code 128 is pretty standard. So we could do a save, and then apparently we have to do a save as, and then over here we can just do a preview again, and you can start seeing things are changing. Now the controls boundaries are too small. It's a good example. What you're going to want to do is first we want to make sure the serial was mapped, which it is. I'm going to expand this. Now one of the things you can do is when you're looking at the, I guess, symbology section, you have the ability to, I guess, make it larger or smaller. So now if we do a save as, and we do a preview, you could see this is the formatting. And if we go back, if you want to adjust it some, so it's starting to look pretty good. So you can really pretty much copy any outline you need. You could add in, boxes, horizontal bars. You could add logic into it. So there's a lot of capabilities that you could do. So you get the picture. Once you save it, you can make modifications. There's a ton of options in the fields list where you could add dynamic, coding, where you could add multiple fields and have them concatenated and combined together. So essentially anything you could dream of, you can develop in this label designing report tool. So if there's any questions, reach out to support and they'll be able to assist.